Right. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, or Karkadash, and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and Son begotten Son Bahashem, and name of Hamashiach Abishai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, Balash Bash the Holy Tongue, and I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf. And I say Shalom, and this is a sit down lesson of the prophecy updates as of May the 22nd, 2026, on this Friday night. And this is from Time of Israel, updated 4 hours ago. It says Trump says moving towards ordering strikes on Iran, but no final decision made. It says a report saying U.S. President Trump has grown increasingly frustrated about the negotiations with Tehran. The IDF reportedly strikes in Lebanon after issuing evacuation warning in Tyre. It says 6 hours ago, 5 Israeli strikes reportedly hit East Lebanon near the Syrian border. It's the book of Luke 21 and verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars, and upon the earth transgressive nations for perplexity which run. Right, so we're seeing the nations are in perplexity and siege which run. That's what we're seeing with the on and off discussions and tensions back and forth, up and down for the past 3.5 months. Well, 2.5 months. 3.5 months. Yeah, 3.5 months as the tensions been heating up between Iran and the United States. And we've been having negotiations, been some progress been made, and then times talks been stalled. And then, despite the fact that the ceasefire been holding on, but tensions been heating up back and forth, on and off. Negotiations had little progress, some progress, little progress. Tensions up and up, tensions up and down, back and forth between the battle script for Moose in that region, and then tensions been heating up on and on, back and forth between Iran and the United States. And then, what was that recently? It was supposed to be like a final draft of the, of the deal might be in place, because they were supposed to make an announcement today, but it seemed like it wasn't official. They showed some little progress, but it's still some holding gaps between, Iran is when it comes to the nuclear capability, because you've been having Trump, because I believe he had some type of speech today. Earlier today, he had some type of speech. I believe he was saying that he reiterated that he's saying that he's going to make sure that Iran don't have uranium or nuclear capability, non-uranium and uranium enrichment as well too. And then Iran kind of changed that mind. They was like, you know what, we want to continue to hold our nuclear capability, uranium. We're not fully giving it up. And then there was a news article, I believe, earlier today. When I seen earlier today, it was saying that Iran, if the United States demand to take over the uranium, that means the talks are off. If the United States don't meet the demands from Iran, and then if Iran don't meet the demands of the United States, so best believe these last gaps of our talks could kind of this might be still kind of a little difficult to push forth a deal. If both sides don't agree when it comes to the nuclear uranium. So Iran was saying that we still going to continue to keep our uranium enrichment, creating nuclear capability, and they want to continue to keep it, and then they want to continue to have full control of the Strait of Hormuz, and then the United States is kind of they don't kind of agree upon on that, because United States, what they want to have some control of the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran not to have control of it. So that lets you know that's going to be the two major issues right there, pushing. That's going to be the two huge hard gaps of the deal to be in process for it to go through, even though they in the final draft stages of it. So that lets you know that potentially tensions might heat back up or they continue to push forth, trying to figure out the issues so they can be able to figure out the issues and tackle the issues when it comes to the nuclear gaps of holding this deal from going through between both sides from the United States and Iran. Luke 21 and verse 25, I just want to add a side note to that. And there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars, and upon the earth distressive nations will perplexity rich burn. Right, so we're seeing tensions heating up back and forth on and off between Iran and Israel, the pro-Iranian groups of Hezbollah versus the Israel Defense Force. And then you got the Russia-Ukraine situation heating up because I believe it was I think it was a news article was saying from RT.com was saying that Russia, they're going to do a retaliation terrorist strike on Ukraine because they killed some innocent kids, I believe. Yep, it says at least 6 killed, at least 6 unalive, and a Ukraine drone on Russian school dorm. It says at least 6 were unalive, and a Ukraine drone strikes on Russian school dorm. The attack on a college in Russia's Donetsk People's Republic was not accidental, President Vladimir Putin has said, and at least 6 people were unalive and 15 remain unaccounted for, and dozens more, most of them minors. They have been injured in what President Vladimir Putin has described as a deliberate Ukrainian terrorist attack on a school dormitory in Russia's Lugansk of People's Republic, if I pronounced that right. It says the attack on the academic building and dormitory of the Stark Broklex, a professional college which teaches students 14 to 18, which carry out 3 waves and 16 drones launched in a same target by the Neonize regime in Kyiv, according to Putin. The governor of Leonid Paseski, Nick, if I pronounced the name right, said 86 students were in the facility at the time over the attack, with at least 15 still unaccounted for and fear trapped under the rubble. It says emergency services recovering the bodies has to pause operations. At one point, due to the concerns over the Ukrainian double-attacking strike, Russian UN envoy Vasily Nebastizia told the Emergency Security Council sessions that the strike was carried out deliberately at a night when the dormitory was full, maximize the number of casualties. It says the key points. It says Nebastizia accused the Western diplomats turning blind eye to the crimes of the Neonize Kyiv regime, blasting their statements as mockery and dancing on the bones of the unalive children. It says Moscow expect the international community to condemn the Ukrainian attack, which cannot be described. Anyone that on a WARCRIME. It says Russia's newly appointed Human Rights Commissioner Yelena Elenskaya told the RT, if I pronounced that name right. It says President Putin says there were no military facilities near the college dormitory, adding that Russia cannot limit itself to statements in such a situation as ordering the defense ministries to present an option of a response. Kyiv has called the college a legitimate target, claiming that it hosts a Russian drone unit, despite numerous videos from the scene showing injured children and no sign of military activities. At the same time, Ukraine has launched a new strike against Russia, with at least 9 unalive in Bryansk region and 10 drones intercepted near Moscow. It says former U.S. Congress Dennis has described the Ukrainian drone strike on the Starobelisk college dormitory as a WARCRIME, telling the RT that the attack was not an accident. He said that the key question now is the degree that responsibility Khabib would accept, while warning that additional actors may be seeking to widen the conflict. Salakia.